the state of souls in the beyond. Misguided belief, unbelief, love. Many people find it inconceivable that they could have direct contact with me, which is proven by my direct communication, by hearing my word in the form of thoughts. This is indicative of their distance from me as well as their lifeless belief, a belief which was in fact traditionally adopted but which is not alive. It is academically accepted knowledge which only seldom is contemplated so that a person forms his own opinion. People could deduct from such adopted knowledge that the eternal deity has to and will reveal himself, but faith in an eternal deity is weak and thus religious doctrines are not taken seriously enough to achieve spiritual progress, which would result in a person trying to establish contact with me. First, I have to be sincerely acknowledged by a person before I can reveal myself to him. And this assured faith in me is missing in a great many people, which is the reason why they live in spiritual darkness and will enter the spiritual kingdom in this darkness. What they failed to do on earth they will have to make up for in the beyond without fail. They have to think. And due to their own fault are frequently too weak to do so. If labors of love follow them into eternity, they will not be entirely without strength regardless of their unbelief. Their strength rests in the fact that they will not completely lose their recollection of the knowledge they dismissed on earth and are able to think about it. Whereas unbelieving souls without deeds of love following them will find themselves in dire distress, for they are unable to think clearly and cannot come to terms with their thoughts. Nevertheless, even these souls can be educated in the spiritual kingdom by other souls who are able to intelligibly present to them what they need to know if they are willing to accept their teaching. To render intercession for these souls is a labor of utmost love and compassion, so that they may receive strength of will and find access to circles where enlightenment can be given to them. Deeds of love can make good every deficiency and give the soul faith, but the spiritual darkness will only disappear when they have acknowledged Jesus Christ, for only He can redeem their guilt which resulted from their unbelief on earth. Misguided thoughts can soon be corrected where love and faith existed on earth, but unbelieving people first have to be introduced to knowledge, because they did not want to accept it on earth themselves, even if they upheld it before their fellow human beings. I cannot give souls instant enlightenment if they do not acknowledge me and if their love was not intended for me or their fellow human beings. I can only give them the opportunity to acquire knowledge, providing their will no longer opposes me. In that case, my merciful love is also willing to give them light when they ask for it. Then the gospel is brought to them again, which they can then accept or reject of their own free will. And depending on their will for good and their desire for instructions, my teaching will enlighten them and the ascent will continue. But it will suffer great torment in darkness until an unbelieving departed soul from earth is touched by a ray of light and follows it. But as soon as it has experienced the benefit of light, it will also be willing to change its nature, and it will always desire more light until it receives it. The darkness only rarely releases souls, but I know when I can open the gates and set the souls free. I know when they are receptive to a ray of light, and I will help them to find the way that finally leads to me and to eternal joy. Amen.